All right, in this episode, I talk about why legacy matters. Check it out now. All right, very important subject of today's show, why legacy matters. And as dads, right, our legacy is so important. Think about it quite often. And I'm going to share a side story of why I think about it and why it's so important for us as men, leaders, dads, husbands, to really think about legacy on a day, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, right? It can drive a lot of what we are doing in life. And why does legacy matter? Well, flashback to nearly 10 years ago. My mother at that point was about ready to go on hospice care. She had breast cancer on and off, came back 3 times over a 17-year period, gone through chemo, all these things. And it had gotten the best of her. And she was going down for a radiation treatment. I was driving her. It was just me and her. It was actually the last deep conversation that I truly had with her. And we were talking about, what's coming. We both knew it was going to be a challenging conversation, but I asked her, as she kind of moves into this phase, knowing that her end is relatively near, what was she scared of? Right? And we had this deep discussion, and she shared she was scared she'd be forgotten. I'm the oldest of 3. She's got 7 grandkids. That was her fear, that she would leave this earth. Some of her grandkids were just a couple months old. They wouldn't even remember her. She'd be forgotten. And somehow that planted a seed in my mind, something that I remember each and every day, that every day we get as a gift. And when we are all at our end, and you as the listener, me as the host, we're all headed to the same place. We cannot escape that reality. So what I'd like you to think about is your legacy. What legacy are you going to leave behind? Think about being on your deathbed. I know it's an uncomfortable thing to think about. Think about that day when it's your end, when you're passing on. Are you going to have the ability to look back on your life and say, hey, I created a legacy that I can be proud of? I paid it forward generationally to my kids, my grandkids. I gave them strategies, tools, tactics that I didn't have. Or, hey, maybe you didn't have the best dad growing up. Maybe alcohol was involved in the process. Maybe abuse was involved in the process. And you are changing, you are breaking that chain right now for that next generation, your kids. You are charting a different path. When we take that long-term approach, when we see that vision and say, okay, what is my legacy going to be? We take different actions throughout our days. We think differently. We act differently. We teach, guide, share with our children different things so that we can build that legacy that will last far past when we're gone. So I really want you to, once you're done listening to this episode, I want you to think about what is your legacy, right? If you have the opportunity, take a piece of paper out and write down legacy and just jot down whatever comes to your mind. And future pace being on your deathbed, it being your last day on the planet. Are you going to be able to look back and say, hey, I did what I wanted to do. I created a legacy. I know my kids are going to be okay. I set them up as much as possible for success. Grandkids, spent so much time with them, right? Think about that. Write down some things that are top of mind, important to you to share with your kiddos, right? We get limited time with our kids. By age 12, 75% of the time is gone with them. By age 18, 95% of the time you get with your children is gone. Time is fleeting. Your legacy, what you want to share with them, how you want to guide them, how you want to help them grow into adults needs to happen now. That's your legacy right now in the moment. think about it, write down some things, take some action. That's how the Warrior Dad leads from the front. That's how we are the tip of the spear for the families. I appreciate you watching, listening, enjoying this episode. Dare to be uncommon, love, lead, legacy, create a legendary day. I'll talk to you soon.